That Sagicor Life is
7 a.m. and it's now time for the Morning Watch with Mr. Stokeley Marshall. Today, the Morning Watch is brought to you by AIM Financial Corporation, and also AIM has a loan for any purpose, and we want you to visit our branches in Mandeville, Kingston, Spanish Town, Portmore, Maypen, Ocho Rios, and Montego Bay.
In need of a loan? AIM Financial is the place to go. We have loans from $20,000 to $3.3 million. Get a loan to pay school or college tuition, medical expenses, bills, fix up your house, buy furniture and appliances, repair or buy a car. And when you're done, take a vacation loan. AIM has a loan for any purpose. Call AIM today. You won't find a better deal elsewhere. Guaranteed.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org. And if you are overseas and on the move, US listeners can access us at 7128328001. And if you are in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the main watch today, foreign work permits approved. Jamaicans dissed? That's the question. And in the second watch, copyright laws, AI standing for artificial intelligence, and artists. Continuing the discussion for our social media question, we ask, as an artist, how threatened are you by AI? Share your responses on our Facebook or YouTube Love 101 FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp comments and voice notes too. 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your comments later on the program, but first, here's I quote.
All right, good morning, good morning. Today's I quote says, every problem is a gift. Without problems, we would not grow. And this one comes to us from Anthony Robbins.
Mr. Dyer, I'm going to leave this one entirely to you, because some people's problems are so overwhelming.
That is true. That is true. So we have to go. I'm going to have to call Mr. Robbins. So what he meant.
Give us some hope. give us some inspiration.
But I mean, you do have some
Pastor
problems
Dyer.
who will, you do have some problems that will allow you to stretch yourself. So I guess in that regard, you would be able to grow without that type of problem.
Prophesy, Jukal, prophesy.
Wow.
The main watch will be back after this break.
8884 Gastro. That's the only number you need to know. 8884 Gastro. Safety first, that's for sure. We feel it right. So when you're ready to light, day or night, the blue flame burns bright. So when you time you need cooking gas, call Gas Pro and you get it fast. 8884 Gas Pro. Get attached to the one you know. Gas Pro, gas professionals.
Jamaica! Everybody's getting a solar water heater. Give a gift of energy from Fosrich. Get your emergency bulbs, fridge timers, solar water heater, solar systems from any Fosrich store across Jamaica. Don't forget, in your getting, get your classic and stylish LED downlights of all shapes and sizes. And remember, we're open on Sundays for your shopping pleasure.
Tell me where you get the money transfer. Where you get the money transfer. Where you get the money transfer. Christmas I come, give her money I run. As Ask your sender to select cash pickup and collect your MoneyGram money transfer of $150 or more until December 23 at any Alliance agent for a chance to be one of 14 winners of 100,000 Jamaican dollars from each parish. Tell me where you get the money transfer. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Do you have diabetes? Two names you need to know: CareSense and Sure Comfort. The CareSense blood sugar meter provides the latest technology and the lowest priced strips on the market, accurate and easy to use. Sure Comfort insulin syringes, pen needles, and lancets offer the latest in needle technology, making it almost painless. One more name: Jamaica Hospital Supplies, 66 and a half Halfway Tree Road. Call 929-2850. Visit our website.
Coming up on the next Campus Connection. Can you believe it's our final show for this season? Wow, time flies when you are having fun. We are inviting you to join the celebration at our end of term campus Christmas party. It will be filled with fun, food, fellowship, and music in ultimate school fashion. We will be reflecting on the season's journey and spending time with honorable guest Mrs. Davia Bryan Campbell of EduHub Company Limited. There will be music ministry from Perry in Christ, Yui Mona, and Darian Callum, Passion and Purity. Christmas food displays by Chantal Gordon, Cakes by Chantal, Jamil Stevens, C&J Cakes, Shea Marie Logan, Sheezy Pastries, and Mr. Jody Brown, Lasco MOEY Teacher of the Year 2022. Join us as we close out the school term and leap into the Christmas break on Tuesday, December 19 at 5:30 p.m. on the family station Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm Stokeley Marshall. Now, it is well known that there are a lot of persons working in Jamaica who do not originate from Jamaica. And I'm not speaking about persons who, have been here for decades. I'm speaking about persons who came to Jamaica in the last couple of years. And the question is it causing some level of discomfort among persons who have been here in Jamaica in terms of themselves and their ancestors for quite some time? Now, are we surprised? There are times when you need skilled workers. You might want workers with a certain work ethic or a certain amount of discipline. But notwithstanding that, is this a serious concern? Should Jamaica and the Jamaicans be bothered? After all, many Jamaicans go to other countries and work, and some of the persons who originate from those countries might have similar concerns. We have as guests today to look at this issue Michael Diamond, President, Consumers Intervention Jamaica, and Kevin O'Brien Chang, social commentator. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you both?
Hi, morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Mr. O'Brien Chang, Mr. Diamond. Are we hearing them?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Hi, Michael.
Hey, good morning. What's up, Kevin?
Hope all is good. Happy holidays.
All right, same to you guys.
It's good to have you both on. Now, gentlemen, should we be concerned or overly concerned in relation to where some of the work in Jamaica is going? You will go to, for instance, some workplaces or some work sites, as the case may be, and you see a lot of persons from another jurisdiction, another country working there. And some Jamaicans might feel, well, they're come to take our jobs. But is this really so? Is it something to really be concerned about? Starting with you, Mr. Diamond, then Mr. Brian Chang. Mr. Diamond?
Yes. Good morning again to you and your listeners. Just as you said, to go into places and seeing individuals or foreign workers, that is not something very common unless you're in the tourist sector. But nevertheless, the question regarding is this something to be concerned about, or is there any cause to worry? From my position, no. No, I don't see this as as something to be worried about. If given especially recently where Staten, mentioned that unemployment in Jamaica is pretty much at its lowest and it continues to fall. And I'm certainly sure they were not counting farm employees, so that in itself, as far as the data would be concerned, shows that there isn't anything to be concerned about right now. So no, I don't see it as an issue, and I don't get the vibration from Jamaica that they're concerned in that regard.
Okay, understood. Mr. Brian Chang, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, as Michael said, we have the lowest unemployment rate in history in Jamaica. Things have changed. This is not Jamaica of 10 years ago. 4.5% is 10 years ago, people said it's unbelievable. Who could ever have thought Jamaica could have a lower unemployment rate than, say, Germany, for example? But it's true. So it's a different environment from, say, 10 years ago. And I can tell you this, I'm a business person, and every business person you talk to in Jamaica, it is hard to get people at all levels. The first time, I don't think Jamaica's ever seen a situation like this, where employers are having a hard time getting people to fill the positions. And you talk at all levels and all industries. And if Jamaica doesn't bring people from outside in, how is the economy going to keep going? That's a big question. What's the alternative?
Mr. Branch.
You mentioned that Jamaicans go abroad to work. So it would be very hypocritical to say that, Jamaicans can go abroad to work in other countries, but other people can't come here to work. I mean, you can't, it's one or the other. Either people can shut out Jamaicans or we allow others in who, if we need the manpower to keep the economy going. And that's the reality. That's the reality of the situation, that if we don't get people here to fill the positions that are not being filled, how will the economy grow? That's a big question.
Mr. Brian Chang, you made a very interesting point as you spoke a little bit earlier. You said business people, or you indicated that business people are having a difficult time filling positions. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, it's a reality. My business, Fontana Pharmacy, my family business anyway, is not mine alone. It's a tough time getting people. Jamaicans, historically, let's say since emancipation, 1838, the capital or business owners, whatever, have, to put it crude in Jamaican terms, have had the handle and the workers have had the blade. It's always been the capital, the capital owners, business owners dictating to workers, But as I say, the last 10 years here, it's changed. Never before have Jamaican workers had so many options, especially the young people. I can tell you, in the 90s, 2000s, at my business, you'd have university graduates apply for floor clerk jobs. And we tried gently to say overqualified, because they said they couldn't get a job anywhere else. So they had no option. They're vastly overqualified. That is not the situation today. The situation today basically is anybody who wants to work in Jamaica can get a job today. May not be the greatest job. People say the quality of the work and all that, but at least people now have a foot on the ladder. They can get a job if they want, get into the system. And as I said, it is very good for the country that workers now have options. And I give an example.
Before you give an example, Mr. Brian Chang, only because of the break, I'm going to ask if you can just hold that thought for 1 minute.
Man, okay. All right, okay.
Right back on the Morning Watch.
Touching lives every day, all through the holidays. A part of all you do, set your core, make you feel secure. Reaching out for more, we'll always see you through. Reach for more, whatever you're dreaming for this Christmas. dreams. Every day helping you succeed. That's what Sagicor means. Today's needs, tomorrow's dreams. Sagicor.
FCDC Music Ministry in collaboration with the church presents Divine Intercept, Friday, December 29, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. at Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center, 104 Waltham Park Road, Kingston 10. Get your ticket today, $1,200. Children under 12, $600. Sponsored by Durham Arch Printing Services and Supplies and Austin & Son Air Conditioning Company Limited.
Harold, do you have a minute? I need your help with something.
What that no?
I'm filling out this form from the company's office and there's a section about beneficial ownership, but I don't even know what that means.
Well, a beneficial owner is anybody that owns or controls a company. That could be anyone, a shareholder, director, or manager of the company. The company's office also needs to know the identity of all these people, including their occupation, nationality, date of birth, current address, and a copy of their ID.
Okay, I think I understand now.
One more thing. Remember, company's office needs this information when you're starting a company, filing annual returns, or making changes to the beneficial owners. They're also going to need you to maintain a record of these persons.
For more information, visit orcjamaica.com and bohubjamaica.com.
With your Visa debit card in hand, you can do it all. Pay for all your expenses and win amazing rewards like a US $7,000 home makeover, a trip for two to any Copa Airlines destination, plus US $1,000 or a staycation for two at Sandals Resorts, plus bi-weekly prizes of air fryers, gas, or supermarket vouchers. Every use of your Visa debit card gets you closer to winning. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Your health is your wealth, so come we start the conversation. Make we rise and immunize all across the nation. The ministry is giving us the motivation. Get your infants routine immunization. Protect the toddlers from all diseases. Tetanus, rubella, whooping cough, and the measles. Polymyelitis, mumps and the flu, plus tuberculosis, to name a few.
Rise to immunize. Eliminating diseases saves lives. Visit your nearest clinic or health center for more information or log on to www.moh.gov.jl.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness with support from USAID and PAHO.
In need of a loan? AIM Financial is the place to go. We have loans from $20,000 to $3.3 million. Get a loan to pay school or college tuition, medical expenses, bills, fix up your house, buy furniture and appliances, repair or buy a car. And when you're done, take a vacation loan. AIM has a loan for any purpose. Call AIM today. You won't find a better deal elsewhere. Guaranteed.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We are in the first watch or the main watch. The topic is foreign work permits approved. Jamaicans dissed? That's the question. Our guests are Kevin O'Brien Chang, social commentator, and Michael Diamond, President Consumers Intervention Jamaica. Mr. Brian Chang, just before the break, you're making a very important point. Please continue the thought, sir.
Yeah, one of the points I was going to make is that while we probably are going to need foreign workers, right? Because to fill the employment deficits, it is critical that the government focus on improving the skills of the current Jamaican workforce. A lot of people are saying, the ones who don't want to work are unemployable, right? You hear that term. It's not a new term. We heard it way back.
Yeah.
We have to make sure that every Jamaican is employable. They're skilled. We need skills upgrading and training. I can tell you for workmen, carpenters, electricians, masonmen, skilled workmen, they're very short in Jamaica now. And a skilled workman can almost write his own contract nowadays. I remember the other day, a prominent businessman on Twitter wrote, look, my electrician makes more than me. And I think while you do need to fill the gaps with foreign workers, we have to make sure that the local workers or the Jamaicans, not local Jamaicans. Their
Yeah.
skills are upgraded, so every Jamaican is employable and can get a job. Um, some of them are just not, they don't have the skills, and it's up to the government to make sure every Jamaican has the ability to get the skills they need to work.
Interesting point. I want to bring in. What were you through, Mr. O'Brien Chang?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Mr. Diamond. Mr. O'Brien Chang said something very interesting a while ago, and it's about bringing the Jamaican workforce up to par, to upskill the Jamaican workforce. Any comments on that, Mr. Diamond?
Well, absolutely. That is absolutely correct. And when we consider where our society is going, even technologically, and we see that we're advancing in the digital space, we do need to upskill individuals so they be able to be, of course, employable. And one of the things that came to mind is that why was this particular information regarding work permits published or emphasized in the first place? Because one of the things that we must keep in mind is that when it comes to work permits, there's a certain immigration issue and a balancing act by the government as far as foreign relations are concerned. Because really, considering the fact that our health sector or medical field sometimes do need, to build out in capacity, and we do have to have foreign workers. When we consider our construction industry, etc., we have to look at the fact that even for Jamaicans going abroad to work, and they also need work permits, the criteria for making sure that there isn't an influx that can jeopardize their own economy abroad is a very similar thing that happens here in Jamaica. So when we look at the fact that certain individuals from certain regions are getting, there's an uptick in work permits, where are these individuals working? What skill sets are they actually bringing? And keeping in mind that some of them, their counterparts, are actually entrepreneurs in Jamaica, and they're actually inviting their own to come and work in their sectors as well. So there really isn't an issue here that threatens the locals where employment is concerned. So it is important that we focus on the fact that yes, we do need to upskill our individuals, but we also need to be careful with information. A lot of time data is coming out that is actually, there's no purpose other than to gaslight certain situations, unfortunately. And work permit issues, that in itself is kind of problematic.
Mm. Understood. Well, there are you mentioned statistics. It was indicated that Jamaica issued almost 40% of work permits in 2022 to persons from China. And this is according to the latest Economic and Social Survey Jamaica, ESSJ, released by the Planning Institute of Jamaica. Well, Mr. Diamond, I have no brief from the PIOJ or in relation to the ESSJ, but their job is to put out statistics, and I have no issue with China per se. But do these sorts of statistics strike you in any way, sir, Mr. Diamond?
Well, absolutely, because what will happen now is that the public will then question if a greater proportion of those work permits were issued to Chinese, in what areas are these Chinese employed? Because you're not seeing them driving route taxis. You're certainly not seeing them in fast food restaurants, etc. And you're not seeing them necessarily working in the BPO sectors. So where are these individuals actually being employed that we're seeing them to a point where we then can say, well, are they actually threatening jobs for Jamaicans? For whatever the reason that the Statistical Institute mentioned that there was an uptick in applications granted to Chinese, I'm not sure of the relevance at this point because we see that there's large construction activities going on in Jamaica, and of course, China Harbor Engineering Company has an agreement with the government of Jamaica, and of course, they're going to need to build out their workforce, their labor force, in order to fulfill some of these obligations. So that information, without further, can be quite misleading, in my regards, because again, if you're saying that you're receiving 4,000 applications and they're all granted, what are the skill sets that we're actually granting work permits for? Because work permits are not simply just because you apply for it. the government responsibilities to make sure that those skills are skills that you can certainly invite a migrant here and give them permission to work rather than simply having them here, adding to the population. So again, without further information regarding what are the skill sets and what areas do these individuals go to fill a demand that may possibly be, affecting how Jamaicans are employed. So again, as I said, it's their duty to collect data, but it's how you relate that data to the public. It can create, again, perception is more important than reality at times. And simply to say and identify that the Chinese receive a larger portion of work permits. Again, we're not seeing them in the space on a daily basis. When you go to the tourism sector, yes, we do find other individuals here, and they can only be here by work permit. So we can
Well,
see where, that is clearly evident. But again, what skill set, what sectors were filled by these Chinese that receive a largest grant of work permit?
and again, I have no issue with China or the Chinese, but it's mentioned in terms of the data from the PIOJ. Any comment, Mr. Brancher?
I think Michael brings up a critical point that more information is needed, even the work shortages. As I said, anecdotally, talk to business people, you hear about it, but you're not really seeing any official data coming out about where the areas where you have shortages and stuff, what skill sets there are shortages. And Michael's point is critical that the public needs better data as to what is going on. As I said, the anecdotal evidence is one thing, but where is the hard numbers from the government showing that, look, we have shortages in these areas and these areas and these areas, so we have to meet the demand. Otherwise, the economy will grind to a halt. So more and better information is needed from these entities like Statin and PIOJ and such, and the Ministry of Labor.
Yes. And we're never enough time on the morning watch. We have a minute or so left. Any final thoughts that both of you gentlemen would like to leave with us in terms of this issue? Because it's clearly not going away. There will continue to be concerns, it appears, as to the number of work permits being issued to persons who are not originating from here. Well, of course, not originating from Jamaica. That goes without saying. But the concern can be, are you giving too many foreigners jobs here in Jamaica? Mr. Diamond, followed by Mr. Branchang. Mr. Diamond?
Well, definitely at present, I'm not seeing where you're giving too many to foreigners. Again, for international relations, that it's an absolute necessity to have a framework where you can give individuals permission to work here. When Jamaicans go abroad to work and receive work permits, it's because they may see that the grass is green on the other side. And fortunately for Jamaica in its development stage, others see Jamaica as having the grass on the greener side for those individuals who are seeking work permits. So work permits mean that they're going to be employed in some capacity in Jamaica. It's actually a good thing that we have so many individuals want to come here and to help to build our economy. So at present, no, I don't see it as a major concern. But the most important thing, again, is that data has to be correlated with something so that we can know specifically what areas these work permits are being granted for, and not just simply for, again, political reasons.
Understood. Well, not enough time to develop on what you just said, political reasons, but Mr. Branchang?
Well, overall, listen, it has to be good for Jamaica that the switch is flipping, as they say. We're only exporting people to work, and suddenly now we need people. It's a sign the economy is progressing. It has to be managed properly, of course, by the government, but it is a sign that the Jamaican economy is growing, and there's a new paradigm being created in Jamaica, a positive new paradigm, but of course it has to be managed properly.
I think we're totally out of time, and both of you indicated that Jamaicans need to upskill, improve their skills. Thank you, Mr. Diamond and Mr. Branchang, for being with us today. Thank you for your time and for your thoughts.
Okay, happy holidays, everyone. Have a great Christmas and New Year's.
Have a good one, sir. Now, next, the second watch. But before that, we'll be back looking at the newspapers in terms of and news sites to see what news there are in terms of, and also there's a social media question as an artist. How threatened are you by AI? Leave your responses on Facebook, YouTube, of course, and of course, WhatsApp us at 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Bank, anything possible with a little savings in your hand.
The time by Jan Bank is
7:30 and 45 seconds.
Don't miss out on the Flow Christmas in a flash sale. We're giving you more this Christmas so you can save big. Sign up for Yard and Road at the extra special price of only $3,999 plus GCT per month. Plus, get a free Samsung phone and earbuds. It's the Christmas in a flash sale. Sign up today and save. Offer ends December 21. Visit discoverflow.co or your nearest Flow store to sign up today. Conditions apply.
Flow makes Christmas bright and blue because it's all inspired by you.
Jamaica's gangs are like packs of rats. They live in filth and try and drag us all in there with them, spreading the disease of violence and corruption everywhere. But like a pack of rats, they can be eliminated with your help. If you have information on gangs, call Crime Stop on 311. This message is brought to you by Crime Stop and their marketing partners, Lime and NCB.
Let the numbers do the talking. Over the past 2 years, we have built over 160 houses, benefiting over 500 people in more than 48 constituencies through the new social housing program. You too can benefit. Simply visit your constituency office and fill out the application form. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Building hope. Building Jamaica.
In need of a loan? AIM Financial is the place to go. We have loans from $20,000 to $3.3 million. Get a loan to pay school or college tuition, medical expenses, bills, fix up your house, buy furniture and appliances, repair or buy a car. And when you're done, take a vacation loan. AIM has a loan for any purpose. Call AIM today. You won't find a better deal elsewhere. Guaranteed.
Tell me where you get the money transfer. Where you get the money transfer. Where you get the money transfer. Christmas a come. Give our money a run. Ask your sender to select cash pickup and collect your MoneyGram money transfer of $150 or more until December 23 at any Alliance agent for a chance to be one of 14 winners of 100,000 Jamaican dollars from each parish. Tell me where you get the money transfer. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming and Auctions Act.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. Let's take a look now at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. And in the major daily newspapers and sites from all over the world this morning and other happenings we have here in the Loop Jamaica News. Flair makes inaugural flight to Kingston, Jamaica. New flights for Capital City Airport flowing in, says Civ Right. And we now turn to the Gleaner. Companies urged not to employ persons under 18 years old. Companies urged not to employ persons under 18 years old. State Minister in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, Dr. Norman Dunn, is warning employers not to engage persons under the age of 18 years to work in their establishments. And reference is made to Section 34 of the Child Care and Protection Act, which criminalizes child labor. We now turn to the Jamaica Observer. The headline here is, in quotes, false ideas. JCHS joins JTA's opposition to using sexual orientation. And there's a photograph here of the JTA President Leighton Johnson. It reads, the Jamaica Coalition for a Healthier Society, JCHS, has thrown its weight behind the 25,000 strong Jamaica Teachers Association's position that utilization of the terms sexual orientation and gender identity should not be normalized in the education system. Those and many other stories from our major newspapers, and one being a news site here in Jamaica today. Coming up next, we'll read some of the feedback from our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp question, which is, as an artist, how threatened are you by AI? If you haven't done so yet, leave your responses on our Facebook or YouTube, Love 101 FM Jamaica Live, and also WhatsApp comments and voice notes too. 876-997-3125 using hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll be right back.
Don't forget that AIM Financial Corporation Limited has a loan for everyone. And they're sponsoring the Morning Watch today. Thanks, AIM. Hey everybody, we want to thank you for sticking and staying with us. And as we wrap up this festive season and close out 2023, we do so in style. So join us inside Love in the Morning on December 29, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. for our final Fun Friday show of the year, as we celebrate with some of our friends with a little concert called a Fun Friday Christmas. Of course, we'll be joined by recording artists O'Shane Mace, audio Spencer Brown, saxophonist MJ, a cappella groups Agape and Humble.
Plus, a special performance from someone you know and love. His name starts with a J and ends with an L. Can you guess who it is? That's right, your Love in the Morning host, Jakar Dyer, will bring the curtains down.
So, tell a friend to tell a friend. I met that friend, tell a next friend. To join us on Friday, December 29, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. inside Love in the Morning. It's a Fun Friday Christmas here on the family station, Love 101. Coming up next on the mailbox. Can you believe it's our final show for this season? Time flies when you're having fun, don't it? We're inviting you to join this season's celebration in our Christmas show edition. We will be reflecting on the year's journey and discussing all the time and present-day Christmas celebrations and practices with Deputy Superintendent Warren Williams and Pastor Kavan Allen. So join us as we close out this year and look forward to the new year ahead on Wednesday, December 20 at 5:30 p.m. on the family station Love 101. Celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
Coming up on the next Campus Connection. Can you believe it's our final show for this season? Wow, time flies when you are having fun. We are inviting you to join the celebration at our end of term campus Christmas party. It will be filled with fun, food, fellowship, and music in ultimate school fashion. We will be reflecting on the season's journey and spending time with honorable guest Mrs. Davia Bryan Campbell of EduHub Company Limited. There will be music ministry from Perry in Christ, Yui Mona, and Darian Callum, Passion and Purity. Christmas food displays by Chantal Gordon, Cakes by Chantal, Jamil Stevens, C&J Cakes, Shea Marie Logan, Cheesy Pastries, and Mr. Jody Brown, Lasco MOEY Teacher of the Year 2022. Join us as we close out the school term and leap into the Christmas break on Tuesday, December 19 at 5:30 p.m. on the family station Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We go right into the second watch. We had started a discussion some time ago, which we would like to continue, and it concerns copyright laws, my apologies, artificial intelligence, and artists. It started with the call from some artists in the United States of America calling for artificial intelligence to be regulated. In fact, there has been a strike among some creative persons there, or there was a strike. Now, what is the threat by or posed by AI? Is it a credible threat? Is this argument of a threat credible? And if it is credible, how should AI be regulated? How should it be regulated? We have as our guest today Vivian Rose, manager of the Copyright and Related Rights Branch of the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office, and Onif White, Jamaican film writer and director who has done movies in relation to Lionsgate stars. Good morning, Onif White, and good morning, Vivian Rose. How are you both?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great having you both. Now, Mr. White, perhaps we can start with you, although I would really love to start with Mr. Rose in his capacity, in his official capacity with JIPO, the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office. But
please start with him.
But Mr. White, as a man whose boots are on the ground in this sector, I'm leaning towards starting with you, if I could, with your permission, sir.
Yes.
As a filmmaker, do you feel threatened in any way by artificial intelligence? That AI can do a number of things right now, including write movie scripts. So
what's fun
anymore?
What I found funny is the first maybe 2 to 3 days, I was just like, no, and I was outright, because I did have friends that were playing with the art, not just from the script, but to Mid-Journey and creating images, the whole process. And at first, I did have a negation to it, and I still have a negation to it, but I don't fear the process. Only because I know how these producers happen to be, right? Because the idea of what these producers want to use this property for, and a little bit more, but it comes in the, let's say, script writing senses, they want to be able to come up with an idea, go to the AI, put the idea in, and then let the AI generate a script for them. Well, that's not how storytelling works. And AI is a non-sentient entity made of silicon that is trying to mimic, going around collecting up in the ether of the internet, trying to mimic human experiences and storytelling. And that will never, ever, 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 ever be, because our storytelling is built on past experiences. You know, if you look at Western storytelling, Western stories are built upon the Iliad and the Odyssey and that hero's journey. That's the majority of Western storytelling. Our storytelling of West African and Jamaican storytelling is built upon reflecting on who you are, so your society, and that's how storytelling. That's why Nancy stories are so powerful, right? And that's why we get the meaning after all this time. So an AI will never in its mind be able to mimic that experience, even though those execs will try, but I promise you they'll fail.
Vivian Rose, your thoughts?
Well, I'm happy that Mr. White isn't afraid of AI. I would agree with him to the extent where currently the AI would not be able to completely mimic human thought. But as he rightly mentioned, the process that it now engages in is gathering information from all over the internet. And in the case of producing a script, so that's the issue where we would have in terms of copyright, because as we said in the previous show, that it's taking information and it's taking information without permission. So that's the issue we would have as it relates to copyright and AI.
Taking people's information without permission. Hold that thought, Vivian Rose, and of course, Onif White will come back to you as well. We're upon a break. Listeners, go absolutely nowhere. This is a very important topic. We'll be right back on the Morning Watch.
Time on Love 101 is now 7:45 a.m.
Remember every dream where you have, remember everything where you plan. With J and Bank, anything possible. With a little savings in your hand. Save so you can build the house, buy the land. You have goals and dreams like a plan. Save so you can start the business, get a car. Block the trip you want to. Save so you can.
Living your best life and making memories is priceless. But saving little by little is what makes it affordable. Stop wishing you could. With your Gen Bank savings, you absolutely can.
Save so you can build the house, buy the land. You have goals and dreams like a plan. Save so you can make the part, travel far, graduate like a star. Save so you can.
Gen Bank will help you find a way.
Hate long wait times at the pharmacy? Me too! Well, I found Marshall's Pharmacy, located at Pathfinder Plaza, Greater Portmore. Great customer service, shorter wait times, all the local and international brands I want, plus print services powered by Print Corner. WhatsApp your prescriptions to 876-491-7841 and follow them on Instagram at Marshall's Pharmacy. Visit Marshall's Pharmacy in Greater Portmore today. They're open late every day, even on public holidays.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Kay. She loved to dance and play. One day at school, she got very ill, and Mom was left with an unbearable bill. It would be easier if Mom was prepared. With School Companion, 80% of the bill is cleared. Medical care for children is a must for as low as $2,400 per month. Make unbearable medical bills go away. Sign up for Sagicor School Companion today.
Something smells good.
When you're cooking or baking, begin with the best. The trusted tradition of Benjamin's vanilla flavorings and colorings. Mix it, stir it, blend it all around and create something spectacular. Whether you're making cakes, custards, puddings, punches, or savory meals, Benjamin's vanilla flavorings and colorings add that special touch to everything. And here's something else special. Benjamin's ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, anise, and mixed spice are now available in liquids.
Yes, everything tastes better with Benjamin's.
Benjamin's, a trusted name for over a century.
Give the gift of the unchanging Word of God this Christmas. The Bible Society of the West Indies is offering discounts ranging from 20 to 40% on books, Bibles, Bible cases, devotionals, and other items. December 18 to 23 is your week to be blessed, as it will be our Customer Appreciation Week. Join us at 24 Hagley Park Plaza, opposite the Halfway Tree Parish Court, or call us at 876-339-3501. Bible Society of the West Indies, reading the Bible every day makes a difference in every way.
From generation to generation, Jamaicans have depended on J and Bank to make the pride and joy of providing a safe place for their families possible. Now, with no processing fees and no down payment mortgage options, you can open the door to your own sweet home, a legacy to hand to your next generation. Visit jnbank.com to get pre-approved today. J and Bank will help you find a way.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. I'm your host, Stokeley Marshall. We are in the second watch, having a very important and interesting discussion with Onif White, Jamaican film writer and director, and Vivian Rose, manager of the Copyright and Related Rights branch of the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office. The topic, very important topic, copyright laws, artificial intelligence, AI, and artists. Continuing the discussion, Vivian Rose, you indicated before the break that you never said that in these exact words, but from what you said, it seems as if you're indicating that your concern is not whether AI will be involved in, for example, the writing of movie scripts. Your concern is whether AI is taking people's work from the internet, using it as part of its own quote-unquote intelligence to produce work or content that it got absolutely no permission to access. Can you develop on that point for us, Vivian Rose?
Well, actually, it would be both. So I would also have concern about computers creating creative work. So the law currently requires a human element to be involved. So we would definitely have concern in that regard as well. But as it is now, the concern where creatives are really speaking about on a global scale is the having their work taken without permission. Because if you utilize somebody's copyright protected work, they should be compensated, or at least you should have their permission. So that is what is required by law, and that is what we would expect to happen.
So, Mr. Rose, may I ask what could seem like a dumb or stupid question? Should we go back to the days of doing everything by hand?
Well, certainly not, because
Why
where
not? Then it won't be on the internet. It's in my notepad, and no AI can take that.
well, that's not really practical in the day and age where it's technology. It's a technology-driven
Yes,
day
sir.
and
I
age,
can
and
mail it. I can mail it
as
to
a
the person.
creative, you need to get your work out there, because that's how you're going to make your money. So the best
I,
way to
I,
get your
I
work out
can,
there is the
I
internet.
can, Mr. White can mail it to the person, sir. Mr. White, your thoughts?
Of should it be on the internet? I actually have two modes
No,
in my.
not whether it should be on the internet. Just the concern that Mr. Rose, one of the concerns, Mr. Rose, AI stealing people's work, if I could use that term, stealing people's work from off the internet.
It is definitely stealing. It is definitely stealing people's work and conglomerating that work into an experience and saying, "Here you go." But it's confusing itself. I don't know if you've ever read one of those AI scripts that's been written by an AI. It's the most convoluted, pointless, no nonsense thing that you have. The thing about our craft is that we have to be purposeful as creatives. Every single thing. If you're a painter, every stroke is. If you've done 10,000 brush strokes as a painter, every stroke has a meaning because you've gone through that experience of making that stroke. And AI doesn't have that experience at all. It's just mimicking your style and your copy. The same thing with a script, right? And AI doesn't have. So, off the idea, I would say, is to go back to do less digital artwork and go back to more tangible artwork, such as painting and writing on actual those papers if you don't want the AI to actually try to copy your work. But even that is impossible, right? Because as Vivian has just told us, Mr. Rose, we have to be able to communicate and spread our work around. And once we put it onto a digital platform, once I'm on Stars or Amazon, it's going to pull from that work and try to mimic that work. I don't want something as soulless as AI to use my work. I want another human being to learn from my work and take it and advance my work in the next generation, not in AI. Does that answer your question?
Well, it certainly does. It raises a number of issues too, but never enough time on the morning watch. But Mr. Rose, I want to raise this with you, sir. What guidance, if any, do you have for creative persons who create content and they need to protect it, not only from persons who are human who want to steal it, but from AI, which was created by humans, but the AI itself now wants to do the stealing? Any guidance, Mr. Rose?
Well, the first step would to have the necessary evidence that the work that is yours, you're able to prove that. So we always recommend that people do the poor man copyright protection, which is simply having a copy of your work. So if it's a play, you have a playwright, have a script, put it in an envelope, send it by registered post, and you have it where you can use it in court should somebody infringe on your right or contest the ownership of your work. Also, in Jamaica, we have the voluntary copyright registration service offered at JIPO, where persons, creatives are able to come in and have their work deposited with us as a next means of further safeguarding their work. Right. In terms of AI, I understand that there are different softwares where you can mask or use watermarks and so forth to further enhance your protection.
Interesting. Mr. White, any comments? Because towards the tail end of what Mr. Rose just said, he is indicating that there are some digital type things or electronic type things that can be done to protect the work. I'm sure you're already familiar. I'm sure that you are already familiar with the well-established ways of protecting your work in terms of copyright. Mr. White?
So that would be the early stages of getting your work out there, and that's what we use to protect ourselves against other human beings, right? But once the work is actually in the distribution platform and it's being exhibited on those platforms such as Stars or Apple or Netflix, the AI could just run and go and copy that work either in its text format or in its visual format or even audio format, such as your program right now. Take your voice, take everything and mimic that and use that to create content out of anything.
Just of
Now
that. I'm very conscious of that, Mr. White. One day hearing my voice somewhere else using a context that I gave no permission for it, and I know nothing about. But where does that leave someone like you, Mr. White?
So the problem isn't say the AI exactly. It's those who are making the programming. It's a producer that says, "Oh, I don't need the talent to put out work," or those individuals on YouTube who haven't gone through gone to broadcasting school like yourself, or gone to or spent the 10,000 hours learning, say, watercolor painting, to actually hone that in a proper way. Those are the individuals we should have the issue with, which is why I'm so happy Mr. Rose is looking at this, because he is looking to corral, because right now we're in the wild west of this whole situation.
Did you say the Wild West?
The Wild West, which is it's just chaos ensuing.
Yes. The digital Wild West?
Yes. And everyone can just, hey, look, we see with the young artists right now, where they're just going out there creating content, but they don't know the history. They don't know the long how to actually do anything. That's why they don't know how to perform, because they're refusing to learn the craft and do what they need to do. It's a similar method where they just go, oh, I can use AI to just bypass all of this and see if I can make some money.
And by the way, gentlemen, when we speak of artists, aren't we speaking about the length and breadth of artists? So we're speaking about writers, singers.
Yes.
Take us through the various types, if you will.
So I'm a filmmaker, and so what I do is I have my talent, which is I'm a writer, director. I create the content, but I'm also borrowing the talents with agreement from other actors, singers, production designers, costume designers, cinematographers. I am borrowing that and say, hey, look, I'm making this product. Come along with me. And so I have my foundational base. I am a little bit, strict, and I say, this is what I want fundamentally. Advance it, and they'll go through and we'll go on a journey together as a collective, and we'll advance and create a story together, because filmmaking is a collective endeavor. And so all of a sudden now here comes AI copying what we've done collectively. That's not something that's cool. That's, so here they have that craft that they've honed over 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and AI thinks within 5 seconds they just can take that.
Mr. Rose, I'll give you a final word before we wrap. We're almost out of time completely, but Mr. Rose?
Well, my final word would be that AI is here to stay. So it's not a fact of getting rid of it. It's just how are we going to regulate it in the way that creatives are able to earn from their work as they should, and have them properly compensated.
Have to leave it there this morning, Mr. Rose and Mr. White. And Mr. Rose is saying that we must not go back to the days of writing things by hand. Well, never enough time on the morning watch. Mr. White and Mr. Rose, thank you for your time and for your thoughts. And thank you, listeners, for being with us. Join us again tomorrow as we look at other topical and controversial issues. Visit the Love 101 FM YouTube channel and Facebook page for this and all other Love 101 FM programs. And of course, download our Love 101 app and stay connected to us, the family station, Love 101 FM, the number one gospel station in Jamaica. This has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Kathy Gale, and to our guests. I am Stokeley Marshall, handing back Love in the Morning with Jukal.
Thank you so much for listening to the Morning Watch. We want to say thanks also to AM Financial Corporation Limited for sponsoring the Morning Watch today.